Hey, um, hopefully you guys can hear me properly. I've been like going through some of my videos, and sometimes I feel like the sound or like the video, audio, and stuff be like kind of glitching. So hopefully you hear me perfectly fine. Hopefully you can see me perfectly fine. I know we are in the middle of retrograde. Everything has been super crazy. I feel like this retrograde actually hasn't been the worst retrograde of all for me, in my opinion, technology wise, but I've been noticing doing a little something. Anyway, hi, my name is B. Just in case if you're new here, welcome. If you're accustomed to being here, welcome back. We are in the last day of March. Thank you, God. March is over. This month has been so crazy and chaotic. Like, I don't even know where I'm beginning and where I'm ending. I'm just happy that it's ending, if that makes sense. Like, I'm just happy that it's over. We still have a lot of retrogrades going. Venus has shifted back into Pisces. I think Mercury it has shifted or is about to shift in the next couple of days or so back into Pisces. We just had a solar eclipse in Aries on top of the new moon in Aries. I'm almost positive this Aries energy had some sidereal Pisces going on with it. Uh, because the amount of tired I've been, maybe because it's the solar eclipse ruled by this Cancer Mars. But I don't know what it is, y'all. I feel like I've just been getting a lot of headaches and I've been extremely exhausted. Like coffee ain't coffee enough. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? But we prevailed. March is over, bitch. Okay, it is the last day of March. Good riddance, arrivederci. I never want to see you again. And I'm just really praying and setting some intentions that April is much more smoother, much more easier, much more copacetic. All right. Now, this is going to be the April overview for, you guessed it, if you clicked on my face and you're currently watching this, fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Happy birthday, Aries, once again. Okay. Hopefully y'all not beating nobody up and y'all is standing on y'all head in the club having a grand old time. Okay. The way that y'all should be doing. I want to make this pretty quick and simple, so hopefully I can kind of get in, tap on what needs to be tapped on, and then get on up out of here. I've already pulled some oracle cards pre ahead of time. This is a new deck that I got from a good friend of mine, so shout out to him. I'm borrowing it. He didn't let me have it, but it's still I'm really gravitating. I got like four of them. He has like this collection, so I got this one and like three other ones, and I'm really gravitating to this one. He like literally suggested this. And at first I was like, we'll see. I actually was gonna put this back and grab something else. But this one caught my attention when I started looking at it, and then this one caught my attention. But we're gonna work out of this one. I pulled these oracle cards ahead of time. I didn't shuffle on camera like I usually do because I don't know this deck, child. Like I said, I just got this from him like Thursday. So we are very, very much reading out of the book. Okay, but still, I wanted to make sure I kind of jumped ahead of time, jumped ahead of the curve to kind of get a general gist of like what these cards mean, read through like the key points and stuff so I can kind of get a good feel of what the oracle cards meant. So that way we can skip all of that on camera and we can just dive right into the meat and potatoes of the situation. Okay, got my jazz music playing in the background. Drop down below in the description box for anything that you need to know about me, how to book, because I am open for personal readings. Tarot one-on-one classes are still going strong, and all of that other stuff. Like, share, subscribe, join our family over here. And yeah, I'm done running my mouth. Y'all clearly didn't hear, click on my face to listen to me talk for bitch 1,000 miles a minute. So let's jump into why we're here. The oracle cards that we have, hold on, because I don't want to lose my spot. So I'm just trying to make sure I have everything. I have these cards like in specific spots of where these pages are. So I'll start with the first two oracle cards out. The first one that came out is the Two of Water. The illustration on these cards too are just so like, they're just so pretty and just vibrant and like full of life. So the Two of Water, this is the Two of Water oracle card that came out. And then the oracle card that came out after that was Destiny. As I was like briefing myself on these cards and kind of reading through them, I thought it was very interesting that both of these cards have like almost similar key phrases. Like the Two of Water has a meeting of minds and hearts, but the Destiny card has, excuse me, where did I see that? Where did I see that? Where did I see that? step inside and explore your mind and heart. So I thought that was really interesting between these two cards where it says a meeting of mind and hearts and then stepping inside of the mind and the heart. So April already out the gate, just kind of briefing over these cards, feels very not only harmonious because the two of water is about reconciliation, union. Some of the key words here were intimacy, closeness, trust, reconciliation, union, codependency, right? So again, both of these cards, especially because the bottom of the deck card that you have is the mother card. We'll get into that in a moment. But a lot of these cards are giving reconciliation. So though we are in Pisces season, though Pisces season, Lord, well, that could have been some significance, right? I was gonna say though Venus is in Pisces and it's retrograded back into Pisces. Things could actually be coming up from Pisces season. So I'm not gonna act like maybe that was a coincidental mistake. Maybe that has some validity to it. Maybe that has some credibility to it. Maybe for some of you, there's something that's happened during Pisces season that's coming back around now with Venus entering Pisces, re-entering it as retrograde, right? And there could be maybe a chance to do something differently, rework something differently, making sure that your head and your heart are on the same page, okay? And making sure that you're really considering the purpose and the answer, right? Some of the key phrases for the Destiny card says a sense of purpose and confidence. Ancestral healing may be required. Your destiny is to lead a life with meaning and purpose, breaking the chain, remembering your dreams, understanding what your destiny is, understanding that some of these destinies are hidden gems and overcoming trials and tribulations. So the fact that again, there might have been a purpose for something that you're going through, and in April, it's kind of giving you'll kind of understand why you had to go through something. You'll understand why you kind of had to operate the way that you did. You know that I like to make these very interpersonal so y'all can kind of get to know me a little bit more. And I'm learning. I feel like I'm currently at a space right now with a particular somebody in my life where I'm learning how to control being so emotionally reactive, especially with my mouth. But it be rooted in like a past trauma. It be rooted in like past stuff, past hurt, that kind of comes up for me. And it's, I have been considering some sort of a reconciliation or reaching out to somebody, but um, amongst me doing that, it's also again putting a pressure on me to kind of again understand what's the purpose of this. What is like why is this triggering me? Right? Sometimes we go through stuff, especially in love, especially with the bottom of the deck card being, excuse me, all my three fingers, being the mother card right down at the bottom of the deck here, there could be a need to nurture something, right? Maybe there's a purpose in what you're doing. Maybe you need to nurture yourself through something, right? There could be maybe some relationship things or some emotional things, some intimacy, some vulnerable points that's coming up. And it's time for you in April to really ask yourself, what is the purpose of me going through this? Or in April, you'll finally come to an understanding of why things had to happen like that. What was the purpose of things kind of happening and unfolding the way that it did, and why you kind of had to nurture yourself or nurture maybe a particular connection or something in your life via that purpose. Okay. If you know me, you know I like to skim through, especially because child, these little descriptions get real lengthy in this book. So I'm gonna spare y'all the 50 little pages I would have to read for some of these cards, and I'm just gonna jump all the way down to where I feel like it matters. Okay? This is a time of giving, sharing, and communication. A relationship is founded on intimacy. To share your thoughts, feelings, goals, and fears with the ones that you love is to be intimate. To hold them, to listen, to show interest is to be intimate. To show affection by showing out, to show affection by reaching out, excuse me, to stroke their cheek or hold their hand is to be intimate. The two of hearts ultimately symbolizes intimacy in a relationship. It is also it also represents, excuse me, a time of forgiveness and reconciliation. If a rift has developed between lovers or friends, now is the time to let go of the hurt and the anger. Put aside judgment and blame. Do not allow arrogance, wounded pride, or ego to destroy the relationship. Where you can take responsibility for your own choices and actions within the relationship and be mindful of where they have impacted and influenced that relationship. The Two of Water invites you to communicate, to forgive, or apologize. Yeah, that's why I said there's a purpose in this, right? There's the destiny card is right next to it. In April, not only are you going to be asked to really forgive or to open up a little bit more and to be a little more intimate, right? To share those vulnerabilities. Maybe somebody hurt your feelings. But as we are coming off still into Aries season, maybe you want to cuss a motherfucker out instead of really be open and vulnerable and say, you know what? That really hurt me. You really fucked me up with that. I really didn't think that you would cross me like that. I really didn't think that you would do that. The fact that you said that really hurt my feelings. It's not even what you said, but how you said it. The way that you said it just had a tone to it. It had an energy to it, and I didn't appreciate that. That rubs me very wrong, right? Maybe this has already happened, and maybe you cut somebody out already and told them to get the fuck on before they get spit the fuck on with all of this retrograde energy going on. But see, now you have an opportunity for things to come back around for you to actually do things differently. What was the purpose of that? What's the purpose of this energy and all of this? What was the trigger for you? What triggered you? Okay. Even the mother card, the key phrases: love without conditions, encourages gifts and talents, emotional intimacy and affection. And then we just read that with the two of water, emotional intimacy and affection. What did the two of waters, two of hearts card say? To reach out and stroke somebody's cheek, hold their hand is intimacy, listening eagerly, holding on to every word, really supporting them, really understanding, really getting clarity on what they holding space for them to share with you. It's intimacy. To share a meal, to share a moment, to share a laugh with somebody, to pick up the phone and just to make sure, hey, you good, you okay? Well, this is what I have going on in my life. I'm really kind of feeling like, that matters. It matters. It nurtures a relationship. It nurtures you also. It allows you to nurture people as you allow yourself to be nurtured by others. Forgiving past failures. Forgiving past failures. Okay? The same thing. So, again, there's a lot of energy that's kind of coming up for April for fire signs. That's kind of reiterating. Don't allow pride, wounded ego, or arrogance to stop you from communicating, forgiving, and apologizing. Okay? Voicing your feelings and forgiving the past, being supportive, letting go of expectations, understanding that we are all different. So in April, you're going to have to really nurture yourself, fire signs, through this. Understanding that for one, we are all different. We are all bred differently. We all handle things differently. But how well can you forgive something, someone? Maybe you're the one that wants to be forgiven. That's also a thing. You could want to be forgiven by other people. Okay. I've kind of jumped down to this mother card. I lost my spot on Destiny, so I'm going to assume that I'm supposed to be reading this mother card. Is this the past position or is this the. Hold on. Okay, cool. All right. So it says, what I want to jump down to. The mother gives without hesitation or reservation. She is both the teacher and the guide, encouraging her children to reveal and nurture their talents. In this way, she gives them a healthy level of self belief, self esteem, and self confidence. The mother is also symbolic of a fertile and abundant mind, a mind where ideas take root, and the mother is willing to nurture those ideas and provide what is necessary in order for them to grow and blossom. I always have to mute that when it goes to a thing. Her womb is the void in which new life forms, safe, nurtured, and protected by her body. She is the earthly universe in which the cosmic soul takes form. There is no more sacred or intimate bond than that of mother and child. She is the mother, the nurturer, the protector, the creator. She is the very essence of non-sexual intimacy. There's that word again, right? There's that culmination of things, right? We have intimacy over here because look, this card over here getting good looking real hot and heavy, right? They look like they're ready to get it on. But they said that the mother card here is actually the embodiment of non sexual intimacy, patience, compassion, and unconditional love, forgiveness, willing to place the needs of her child before her own. The mother is a woman who extends her unconditional love to all who dwell in the world around her without question of whether or not the love is deserved. So this is definitely about I'm getting a big energy, fire signs, of understanding the purpose of why the people are in your life that's in your life, and understanding how to love them through that anyway, and not love like sexual love, but to really share an intimacy with somebody, to really share a moment with somebody, to really build something. Forgive them, allow forgiveness to happen for yourself, and understand that this was all a part of a greater purpose. If you don't understand that now going into April, I feel like you'll strongly get a big sense of that and a big dose of that. Um, oops. I feel like you'll definitely be getting a big sense of that and a big dose of that um, as April kind of kicks off. Okay, so don't be surprised if maybe you kind of had some intense discussions with people during these retrograde seasons. Okay, maybe you kind of had to pop off on somebody, maybe somebody popped off on you and shit. But it's asking for you to forgive them. It's asking that they forgive you. Okay, if you want to be forgiven, now is the time to actually express that and say, "Hey, I know I didn't express myself in the best manner. I know I said this. I know I said that. I know I really hurt your feelings, but can you please forgive me?" This is the time to do that and to ask for forgiveness. If you feel like you've done something wrong, ask for forgiveness. If you feel like someone has done you wrong, this is the time to communicate that in April and say, "Hey, you really kind of fucked me up with that. I've been trying to hold it down. I've been trying to keep it pee and act like it don't still hurt my feelings, but it still hurt my feelings that you said that. It still hurt my feelings that you did that. It still hurt my feelings that you moved like that." With Pisces moving into Mercury, with Mercury moving into Pisces, this is a grand time to really start communicating with a level of compassion. From Aries shifting back into Pisces, we are now taking the back seat. We're no longer aggressive and argumentative anymore. We're now a little more compassionate. We're a little more passive too now with what we got going on. We don't want to let nobody know that they hurt our feelings. We don't want to let nobody know they got us fucked up. Yeah, we might be mad, but see, now we don't want to direct it and say, "Oh, that just upset me. You pissed me off with that." Now you want to sit here and act like, because motherfuckers want to act like, "No, don't be passive aggressive. Say what it is. If somebody upset you, this ain't the time to be trying to drop gems and trinkets. Say that shit with your chest." But this is also a time to really have any compassion for any aggression of argumentative energy that you might have had in between it shifting from Pisces to Aries back into Pisces. Let's get a little bit of tarot action going on. And this is from another deck that I got from him. Shout out to him. The Mystic Mondays. I've seen this deck so many times around, but I just never actually got to get my hands on it. So I had to get my hands on it. And between those two, I really like this one too, the Kipper. And I know I've seen this around a lot too. I like this one, but this is like probably number 3 on my list. And this one, I feel like I've pulled some cards, but it's just too like reading it and understanding the cards feel like trying to understand Da Vinci Code and or like trying to decipher a poem and shit, and I don't like that. So anyway, let's get back to why we're here. Give me some energy for Aries, Leo, Sagittarius for April. Give me some energy for April. Energy for April. Yeah, the Chariot card upright. The King of Wands is reversed, but the Chariot card is here. Cancer energy, Cancerian energy is here. Make sure I'm watching the time. 2 of Pentacles. The Chariot card, the King of Wands is reversed. The 2 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Cups is. This makes me. This makes me feel like. Okay, for some of you in April, you might want some things to move forward, but you're not taking any initiative, and you're not making any moves. You still like kind of juggling and shit. Like you still kind of like, you know, straddling the fence a little bit. Do I or do I not? Um, Probably because for some of you, you want to avoid being rejected or you're scared to be rejected. And this isn't the time to be trying to worry about being rejected. Again, say what you have to say, communicate, apologize. Now is the time for vulnerability. Now is the time for intimacy. And judging by both of these cards, now is the time for non-sexual intimacy. So say what you have to say, ask for forgiveness, tell somebody that you want to move on, you want to pursue them, you want to see where things go, and really allow the chips to fall where they may. Again, a lot of this energy that we experiencing right now is all for a greater purpose. It's all for a greater destiny. Okay. Including myself. I think I just pulled some cards for myself earlier to kind of, I was kind of feeling, experiencing some ungroundedness, and that was even my message, right? I got the Eight of Pentacles, which would to indicate to say, hey, this is something that you're being challenged with this because we want you to work on this. Like making sure that you put it into work, sharpen your skills. You're kind of good at it, but you could be better at how you're handling your triggers. Making sure that your past experiences don't really cloud your present moment, right? So again, this is like everyone's kind of going through a collective lesson. All of the collective is kind of going through something right now. And this just feels like what you might be enduring kind of into April. Give me this King of Wands reverse. What energy is this? What energy is this? Whose energy is this? Fire signs, this could be your energy actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, fire signs, if you're not taking no action in April, you're allowing some potential to kind of pass you by. Okay, things have already come crashing down. Okay, this feels like this is a time again to reconcile, to rebuild, to come back together. But fire signs, it might actually be the weight on your shoulders that's allowing you to do this. You might have to be the one to say something first. You might have to be the one to take the initiative. You know, just like at the beginning of this, that's why I said, damn, I'm kind of reconciling with somebody too. You know, I'm still kind of teetering on working out the kinks, but you know, I definitely did say what I had to say, and I'm doing my work right as I pulled earlier on making sure I'm not triggered. You know, understanding that again, shit just happens. You know, again, like I said, everyone's different. Right, as a Sagittarius woman, I'll be having to catch myself too. I'll be having to clock myself. Everybody's different. Everyone's life is different. Everyone operates different. Motherfuckers don't move as fast as I move. Motherfuckers don't move as calculated like I move. People don't move how I move at all sometimes, regardless of any type of realm. So, you know, making sure that that's being mindful. But for some of you coming off in April, it's like you're not moving forward at all when it comes to something. Like you're not moving the wheel forward. Therefore, the potential for whatever this is to really come to life uh ain't happening. For a lot of you in April, you're gonna have a tendency to want to straddle the fence. This ain't the time to be doing that. Okay, if you know you want to make something happen, again, if it's a friendship and you know that you maybe need to reconcile, somebody at your job, a lover, a family member. Maybe you said some not so nice things. Maybe you had a not so nice attitude and shit. Maybe somebody caught you on a bad day where you only had a crumb of a piece of a last nerve left. Amen. And you had to really kind of gather somebody, kind of get somebody together real good in a not so nice way. It's like if you feel fucked up about that, it's okay to go apologize. Don't sit and just kind of sit on your hands because you kind of just fucked up about it, but then you scared to say something. Don't straddle the fence. Take action on what's directly in front of you to really actually like mend this and rebuild it. For some of you, this is somebody toward you, and this ain't even necessarily your energy. You ain't making no moves because you ain't fuck up nothing. It says fire signs. I didn't ruin a goddamn thing. I'm not doing shit. As fire signs say, I'm moving on with my motherfucking life. Okay, I'm just gonna take this as a detour. What I thought was gonna work out ain't gonna work out. This kind of give, if this ain't your energy, fire signs, somebody could be wanting to say something to you, but they haven't said it yet. They could be wanting, like again, if this is a friend where you like, girl, I didn't did nothing. My friend slighted me. The bitch did something to me. That man did something to me. That girl did something to me. These people doing something to me. Okay, well then they could want to apologize. You could pick up this energy in the atmosphere come April, but whether or not they do it depends on if they can get up off their ass, get off of their hands, stop sitting on their hands, and actually do it. Okay, the King of Wands is reversed. This is somebody who's still kind of stifled, still kind of wondering, still kind of trying to figure it out and see if they're gonna do it or if they're gonna take the action or not. And it particularly feels like because somebody doesn't want to be rejected. This could be you, this could be them, but whoever this is, somebody don't want to be rejected. So in April, it's like you might pick up in the energy in the air that somebody might want to apologize to you, somebody might want to reconcile, but it's like they're too scary to do it. So there's that. If this is you, fire signs, and you can identify that this is you, and then you resonate with this, you're being asked to get over the fear of rejection and really say what you have to say. Again, some things are destined. So again, if you were destined to be with this person, no amount of arguing, fighting, or nothing is gonna ruin y'all's connection. The only thing you would have to simply do is come back and extend the olive branch to say, hey, I didn't say that in the best manner. I didn't have the best attitude with that. I wasn't the nicest when I said that. Can you forgive me? I would like to mend things and move this forward. A meeting of the minds and the heart. Stepping into the mind and the heart. Communicating via the mind your most deepest vulnerabilities. Even if that deepest vulnerability, even if that most intimate moment, non-sexual intimacy moment is a genuine, thought out, heartfelt, I sincerely apologize for XYZ 123. Can you please forgive me? I would like to reconcile. I would like to, fix this. I would like to move forward. I would like for us to try again. If you don't do it in April, fire signs, you're wasting the potential. You're simply just allowing the potential to go down the drain. You have a potential to mend and strengthen and nurture this friendship. You have the potential to mend and strengthen and build upon this relationship, this connection with these coworkers, these people in your life. Whether you do it or not depends on how much you feel like you give a fuck about it, I guess. How much you really want to put some effort into it. And allow it to really push it and allow yourself to push it into its fullest potential. Relationships and connections aren't without conflict. It's not without arguing. You're going to bump some heads, but it's not about the conflict. That's the issue. It's how you fix the conflict. It's the conflict resolution amongst two people that matters, and how intimate you can be, how vulnerable you can be with each other within that. Thank you again so much for visiting my channel. I deeply appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe, leave me some comments if this resonated. Definitely join our family over here. I'm trying to grow us as a platform. So yeah, my name is B, just in case if you forgot from the beginning of this video, and that has been your April overview. I am open for personal readings. I do also do monthly overviews, so if you want a personalized monthly overview for April, definitely hit down below in the description box. Get with me on my websites, and we can definitely run that up. Turnaround time for readings are 24 to 72 hours. Why did I just buffer my brain in the middle of that? I don't know, but yeah, I'm done talking. I'm out y'all mother atmosphere, and until next time. Bye. I'll see y'all over on the next video.